Doesn't get them the first down, brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. They'll run it now out of the gun. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And the pitch goes to Miller. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They'll try the air now with Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Here's a give to Miller. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll toss it to Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come back, come back.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing to 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. One man in the backfield, that's Miller, second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And a look now at Lamar Miller. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown. And And he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They keep it with Miller on first down. Down to the 25. Now a toss right to Miller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Dante Fowler coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
380.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come back!
On 1st and 10, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. And it's Bortles, the quarterback, slow to get up. Looks like he's going to need a moment or two. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and get him with Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. A little 360. It'll be a 45-yard punt, and couple that with a loss on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. He's got room to run past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Here's Watson, eluding the pressure right. Able to find Shaheen here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Watson. Underneath for Miller. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Now a handoff to Miller. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. With a carry on second down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw. Washington. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Let's go!
Throwing on first down. Washington. An open man right side is Shark. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Come on, let's go!
From the gun, Washington. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. This quarterback now a perfect 6 for 6 since taking over. Can't ask for better than that. First and 10.
Here we go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
Geis, they'll try to run it. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal.
Come on, let's go!
Back to throw. Washington under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Malden not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz, and takes him down for a loss of 9. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. 190.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Boy, what a job there. 4th down that far away from the end zone just to get it in, get that done.
An unlikely result, but it occurred nonetheless. What a terrific play. Great way to finish and in the end zone.
And the defense has to be scratching their heads, right?
That's usually to their advantage. In that situation, they should be able to make a play on the ball, but instead it turned out to be a touchdown, and they've got to go figure it out on their sideline.
And a look now at Lamar Miller. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Reset.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, that's Grant. And he's got some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Dante Fowler in on the stop. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First down, Washington. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking to throw. Washington. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw on second down. Washington. He finds his target, Beckham. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. Back to throw. Washington. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Coney Ely in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. To throw on second down. Washington under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Let's go. What? 90.
Off the play fake. Washington. And some room to roam now. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a fourth and long. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They begin with a run by Miller. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Now Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And And they'll run for it with Miller. And some room to work. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield. That takes a little bit of courage to pull off. But they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together.